Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this video we're going to cover frog pose or Bakasana. We're going to do some variations with the spine in more of a neutral position. We'll do single leg. Bakasana is a wonderful quadricep stretch, that front thigh muscle, and as well as this opportunity to find length in the spine. It can definitely be challenging on the knees just in keeping them aligned so they don't feel any sort of twinge. So I'm going to give as many cues as I can to kind of keep that alignment, okay, in the legs so that you're not distracted by it and can get a really juicy quadricep stretch and potentially even more lengthening in the spine. It's done on the belly, so that's where we're going to start. And I just have to say, every time in class when I do poses on the belly, there's always at least one person, if not more than one, that groans. So if you're in that groaning category, you're not alone, okay? So we're just gonna try to find the best position possible on the belly, and if that doesn't work, then check out the video Dancer with the quadricep stretch, because that's a lot of the same stuff. Just here we get to do it without the balance part. All right, so coming on down onto the belly, okay, turning the legs in toward each other to create space in the ankles, knees, and hips. I'm going to be upright almost throughout, just so that you hear me well, but you can do all of this, okay, completely laying down, okay, and just, again, making it as comfortable as you can. So as I turn each leg, okay, internally rotating it, I'm also finding length, okay, so extending as I turn, and this creates immediate space around the sacrum, okay, that triangular bone at the low back. So just bend, straighten, bend, okay, just kind of get a sense of how you feel, and then pick a leg and just reach back and just see, okay, can you easily connect without the knee going out to the side, because it's going to want to do that regardless of your flexibility. And if you do that and then explore the stretch, I can't say it's a guaranteed pinch, but it's asking for trouble. If not today, years from now, if you have that pattern, you're going to exacerbate some problem, okay, in the body. So you really want to maintain that sense of center lines, center of the hips, knees, ankles, even though you're turned in this position, okay? If you can't easily reach your foot, you might find it, okay, helpful to use a strap. It's also awkward. You could roll onto your side, kind of connect. This is a good opportunity to bring the legs close together, okay, coming into this. This Bakasana frog pose is very similar to the work in hero, half hero. So we're trying to bring the heel toward the seat or toward the outer hip, maybe touching the floor. At the same time, so we just kind of test out, okay, the other leg. It can easily make the thigh bones unground, okay? So now that we kind of have a sense of what do we need, what's our position, is this doable, okay? Then we take a little bit more time to set it up. So reaffirm your internal rotation, okay, and then gently press across the tops of your feet. That'll inspire, hopefully, the knees to center and lift up toward your hip joints, okay? Engaging inner thighs, base of glutes, pelvic floor, okay? Bringing that line up the spine. So I just follow the energy centers, okay? Otherwise known as the chakras, all right? So from the base of the glutes, pelvic floor, drawing that line up toward the belly button, toward between the shoulder blades, okay, to the sternum, to the center of the throat, base of skull, crown of the head. Once you memorize that line, okay, it'll assist you in every pose. So we want to stay active with all of this length and keeping those thigh bones, the head of the thigh bones, it's like they're going up, okay, so that we can keep them in the hip joints. And then take hold. So this would be half, okay, Ardha Bakasana. As soon as we take hold, I can feel this. My energy wants to go down and out to the sides rather than up and in toward the midline. So I just have to reaffirm the work. And moving the straight leg, okay, is not really going to help the pose. So you want to safely move the bent the bent knee when you're doing half, okay? Maybe adding, so a lot of the time I'll come up into my back bend first and then work with this. Okay, so again, reaffirm, okay? So from the center lines, okay, of the feet to the ankles, knees, hips, keeping the thigh bones up in the hip joints, okay, and engaging the base of the glutes, lengthening the spine, okay? So I know I can easily, for me, I have always been able to do this where my heel would easily touch the glute. So I direct it toward the outer edge, but I keep directing the toes forward, okay? The more flexible you are in your quadriceps, the more you're going to want a back bend because it will enhance your quadriceps stretch. Again, check in, are you allowing those thigh bones to unground? Okay, your low back, for many people, that's the clue. If your low back is pinching, it seems weird, but to lift the head of your thigh bones up into your hip joints, engage the base of the glutes, pelvic floor, keep lengthening the spine, and that'll eliminate the pinch if that was the cause, the ungrounding. So lengthening. So this is Ardha Bakasana, half frog. Carefully, without letting it snap, carefully release your leg. And a good thing to do in between sides is just to check in. You know, observe how your breath is flowing. How's your body receiving, okay, the effects of your position. I love belly poses because being on your belly, okay, when you breathe, okay, if you're diaphragmatically breathing, then you can feel the sides of the low back, you know, or the sides of the torso, the sides of your, just all around here. You can feel it expand with your breath. And it's so easy to not be aware of that when we're upright. So I think this is one of the best benefits of being on the belly is this sense of awareness to the back body. Okay, so before I do the other side, I always internally rotate. Again, find that as I internally rotate, find length, okay? And then checking in here, okay, so I've got hold, all right? I'm going to incorporate more back bend, okay, first, then taking hold, okay? Before I go full throttle, I want to make sure that I'm not sagging, sinking, okay, and especially in the low back. So I'm going to direct my thigh bones up, bring a lot of intention into the position. So energy's coming up in toward the midline, lengthening the spine, okay, not allowing the knee to drift out, okay, out to the side. It's harder for me to look at the camera, but lengthen. Okay, so it's finding that center line of the torso, so it's an extension of the legs, okay, so from pelvic floor, base of glutes, to belly button, okay, to between the shoulder blades, the sternum, okay, to the center of the throat, base of skull, crown of head. So this is Ardha Bakasana. And then doing both, I usually have to come down, okay, to set this up. Okay, so again, I'm reaffirming before I go into the full position. Okay, so I want to make sure I've still got that internal rotation, still have the space in the center of the hip joints, still have all kinds of length in the spine, and then I change my mind a gazillion times of how I want to take the grip of the feet, okay? Head of the arm bones and shoulders, lengthen the neck. There we go. I want to go into more of a back bend, but I can't quite get the, the strength, the leverage to really lift up, but that's okay, because it's all a practice, and it just, time will tell, but that's both simultaneously, and then carefully releasing. Okay, and just taking advantage of all of the space, the length, feeling the effects of your position. When you're ready, okay, carefully pressing to all fours, to child's pose, to your check-ins, okay? Just noticing, how you feel post-pose. Okay, it's always great, just really important to check in your way, but that's how we cultivate awareness and really feel all of the benefits, okay, of the poses. We build evidence and motivation, okay, to do it again and again and again and to improve in our practice. So I hope you feel good. Bakasana, frog pose, quadricep stretch. spine lengthener, very similar to the build up before dancer pose, hero pose. So I hope that this was helpful and that you have a wonderful day. Namaste.